Hey there, Shooby Doodlers, I am home again, and this is all the work from the very last day of the Hull Great Malarkey. This is the artist entrance, and this is Lynn, who met us with a cheery smile every morning, let us in, and kept the rabble out. And first of all, I found Hull Carnival Arts were unloading their van, which is a bit weird, bringing all these huge heads out of their faces, and then they went around. This was the Queen, so one of the guys was inside it waving with these props, and another guy had this extraordinary sort of music box. It was actually an MP3 player, but as you wound it, it kind of got louder and louder, and the slower you wound it, it got quieter. So it's kind of like a music box kind of thing, but very interesting. And this Ruby and Sam, who are Broccolilly, who were kind of playing games and stuff with all the children. They said, let's play this game. It's called Tig. It's like Tig, but it's done with kangaroos. So there were Tom Madison and Bronwyn bouncing around, playing Tig catch, but bouncing like kangaroos. And then I went to see Sita, who is a storyteller. She had this extraordinary thing called a sounding bowl. It's kind of like a wooden tortoise shell upside down with the strings across it, and blah, 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 blah. So she sort of plays that in between stories. She was telling stories of Birbal from India. He said the road goes nowhere, it's the people who goes places. And then there were occasional gusty winds, and I kept seeing Christine, one of the librarians, racing across the park, chasing after plastic bags that were blowing around the place. And this is young Zander, who I found eating grapes, and he was trying to shove as many in his mouth as possible, the 5 grape challenge. And then we had the wonderful Lydia Monks was telling stories, and I really enjoyed watching her session and watching her draw and interacting with the children. She's so relaxed. I learned such a lot from watching her, and I'm going to try and bring that relaxed kind of way to my sessions with kids from now on. And she told the story about Mouse's big day, and she had all these little kind of hats for the children to wear and act out the scenes of the story, which is a great idea. Oh, this was Emma in Caravan. I haven't coloured this one in. And she has this wonderful caravan, and what she does is she has this thing. You spin the arrow, and it goes to the city or the forest or the north and the frozen waste and things like that. And she digs into her little box here. She pulls out a card with a story on it, a little bit of a story, a little piece of a story that just gets you interested enough because she wants you to go off and find the book and read it. And we spent a long time chatting about stuff, which is so I drew, but I got so engaged in chatting that I didn't colour that one in. Maybe I will later. And then we had the comedian Julian Clary come to talk about the bowls, and I started trying to draw him, and don't think it's it looks more like Aled Jones, I think. And he had his illustrator with him, David Roberts. I think that's actually quite a good drawing of him. And he did a little drawing of a cat licking its behind. And Julian goes, cats are very clever. He said, I can't do that. And I have tried. So he was telling us all about the bowls. And one child asked him to draw a fidget spinner, and neither of them had any idea what a fidget spinner was. And then I went into the shadow puppet tent. And I managed to just do this very quickly because they were starting to sort of take it all down around me, and there were just some children waving some puppets around, so I didn't get to see the show, sadly. And then this is Jim, the Sandman. So he came in, there were some nice cushions on the floor, and his daughter just zonked out, and it's an irresistible potential drawing. So I started drawing him, and we had a long chat. And Jim's a digger driver. We were talking about the joys of driving diggers and digging things out, and he's very passionate about digging. He calls himself the Sandman, which is apt, having got his daughter Jess fast asleep. And then outside I found this child had made a dragon hat, and he was racing about going rah, rah, rah. And one of the park bench poets went off to get the police. to arrest him. He's been having complaints about a very aggressive dragon. I don't think the police quite really saw the funny side of it somehow. I hope they did later. And then this is kind of an old iron bedstead that had been made into a kind of a bedstead of dreams, and all these children bouncing around and playing on it. And there were lots of swifts and swallows flying all over the place as well. And then the whole thing started to wind to a halt with a Malarkey ball. And this is everybody dancing around. And this is Shiznits playing the music. And I think I started trying to do something else, but just a few pages left, not many, 2 or 3. So I've taken some film, and I think over the rest of the week I'm going to kind of fill in things from film and from memory and just finish off the book, and I'll maybe show you that on Friday.
Thanks for watching, and you can support this channel and get so much more on my Patreon page. Click to find out more. Make sure you are subscribed to the Shoo Rayner Drawing Channel on YouTube, and in the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.